loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and happy Valentine's Day. So the day this video goes up is actually the day after Valentine's Day, but happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you had an amazing day, that you hugged your loved ones or spent some time with your girlfriends. Either way, I hope you had a great time. I decided I wanted to do a special video for Valentine's Day, but it didn't fall on my days that I put videos out, so I decided to just do this one, which is the day after Valentine's Day. Either way. And I decided that I wanted to do a book boyfriends that I would want to be my Valentine. So I never did a top book boyfriends of 2023 video. I did one for 2022, but I never did one for 2023. So there will be quite a few books on this list that I read in 2023 that would have made that list if I did make that video. But these ones specifically are all ones that I would want to date in real life. So we are not talking dark romance today. I love a dark romance hero. There are definitely some dark romance men on my top book boyfriends list, but for this video we are only talking about ones that I would actually want to date in real life. So if you want me to do a dark romance edition book boyfriends, let me know and I will do that video. But this one for Valentine's Day is the sweethearts, the ones that I think would make amazing boyfriends in real life. So I'm going to start with a couple of books that I read before 2023. So they're all ones that you would have heard before. I mean, all of the ones on this list are favorite books, so that you would have heard them before. But we had to start with a absolute favorite book boyfriend of mine who I talk about so often, and that is Mac from Blindsided by Amy Dawes. This one is a Scottish footballer hero who falls for his best friend, whose name is Freya, in a sex lessons type situation. So Freya is about to turn 30 and doesn't want to be a 30-year-old virgin, and so she enlists her best friend Mac to help her figure out how to date so that she can lose her virginity. But when he finds out that she's a virgin and that this is her plan, he's like, your first time shouldn't be with somebody that you don't know. It should be with somebody that you love and somebody you trust. So he decides to give her some sex lessons, and it's so freaking good. Mac in this book, I love him so much. His relationship with Freya when they're just friends is adorable. I love how close they are. They just sit and watch TV together, which is just like dream friendship for me. I'm not a leave my house kind of girl, so that sounds amazing. I love how different they are, and yet their friendship is still so strong. Their relationship is still so strong. Like, Mac is this big football playing, and by football I mean soccer, and it's European, so big football playing athletic guy, and Freya is a cat lady homebody who likes to make outfits for her cat and watch Heartland on TV, which is a horse TV show if you've never ever seen it, which is a great TV show if you haven't seen it. But their just relationship is so cute, and it's the kind of relationship that I want in real life. Freya is also a plus size heroine, and I love the way that Mac loves her so much. He tries to fully show her how sexy she is, and I just love it so much. It's so good. If you haven't met Mac as a book boyfriend, definitely recommend. Would recommend the audiobook because the Scottish accent in it, Will Watt, 100% gorgeous. So would definitely recommend this, and I want Mac to be my Valentine. The next one that I have is Canon from Real by Kennedy Ryan. This book is a forbidden actor and director romance. Canon is a movie director, and he casts Neva to be his star in this movie that he's making about the Harlem Renaissance. He has these very specific vision for his movies, and Neva, when he sees her, he just knows immediately that she is perfect for this role. And he has had previous difficulty with dating people on set, and so he does not want to get involved with his actresses, but he and Neva are absolutely perfect together, and I love them together. Neva also has lupus, and so we do get to see Canon loving her and supporting her through her chronic illness, which I love, and that really hit home for me as somebody who has a chronic illness. So I want a love like that. I want a romance like that, and I love the way that he supports her, the way he shows her that she's gorgeous, the way he shows her how much she means to him. And there's a scene in here that made me sob so hard, and it was just the most emotional that I think I've gotten in a book in a really, really long time. And it was him showing her the way that he loves her. He's a photographer, and he has this whole room with pictures and videos of her, and she at that point is going through a really hard time with her lupus, and she is angry at her body, and for her to see the way that Canon views her was just stunningly beautiful. And it's so, so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. And if you have a chronic illness, even if you don't have a chronic illness, read this book, because the way that the love is so pure between them is just to die for. And Kennedy Ryan can write a hero so, so well, but Canon stands above all of the others for me. He's just amazing. Then I have Fish from Smitten by Lauren Rowe. Very different men we're getting here, very different types of personalities, but Smitten by Lauren Rowe is about Fish and Alessandra, and this is a friends to lovers, very sweet, wholesome romance. This one, Fish is a rock star in a band called 22 Goats, but he's not the most conventionally attractive, and he's also not like the star of the band. He is not the front man, and he knows that people really only come up to him and are after him because he's Fish from 22 Goats, not just because he's Matthew Fishburger. And so he desperately, desperately wants somebody to love him as himself and not as Fish from 22 Goats. And he ends up meeting Alessandra at a party, and Alessandra is an aspiring musician, but it has deathly stage fright. She's so afraid, and they form the most adorable little relationship, and it is just the sweetest love. It's so pure and wholesome. It's definitely like friends to lovers. It goes, they're both, it's almost like a first real love between them, and it's just so adorable. And Fish is such an absolute sweetheart and is really wanting Alessandra to be so comfortable, because this is like really her first, they're both of them's first real like true relationship, and he wants her to be comfortable, and it's so sweet and adorable, and it's just like so swoon worthy, and it just makes me feel so happy. And Fish is such a cinnamon roll, so I would love him in real life. I think he would be perfect. Plus musician, I'm a big fan. The next one that I have is Cade Eaton from Heartless. We've got a cowboy in this mix. We have a dad in this mix, which is interesting. Cade is a cowboy, and he runs his family's ranch, and he is a single father, and he needs a nanny for the summer, and he ends up hiring Willa to be the nanny for his son. And Willa is a chaotic, fun time, and Cade is a grumpy farmer, and so on the surface it doesn't seem like they should fit, but they just like opposites attract, worked so well together. They fit together like puzzle pieces, and Cade needs more chaos and excitement in his life. He tries to be very like strict and regimented, and Willa could use a little bit of structure, so the way that they mesh together is just absolutely perfect. And Cade is just such a good guy, and he is it's an age gap because Cade is older than her, and I mean, big fan of the older men, not a huge fan of younger men. So big fan, would definitely recommend this book. It's so, so sweet, so good. And Willa is just a firecracker, and Cade needs that in his life. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The next one that I have is Roan from Shadows of You by Catherine Cowles. I love Roan. I love the grumpy ones. I love the grumpy ones. I love the like more, like not damaged, that's not the right word, but I love the ones that are more reserved, I guess you could say. And I love Roan in this book. So Roan, this is a small town romantic suspense romance, and the heroine Aspen, and she is a single mom, and she is actually on the run, and she moves to this small town, and she's lived there for a while, and she rescues hurt animals. She has this like animal sanctuary almost in her property. Nothing like official, but just like if she sees a hurt animal, she's gonna take it in. And when she ends up seeing a hurt deer on her property one day, she calls wildlife services, and Roan works for wildlife services, and he shows up, and he is a grumpy, reserved, tortured type of hero. And when Aspen, the danger in Aspen's life ends up coming for her, Roan becomes so protective of Aspen and of her daughter, and it's so, so cute. I love the way that Roan is able to open up to Aspen. Like, there are things that he hasn't told his own family about his life and about why he is the way he is, but when he finds a kindred spirit in Aspen, he is able to be comfortable with her, to talk to her, and she's the same way. She's able to discuss with him what she won't discuss with other people, and their relationship is so strong and sweet, and Roan is just, again, he's such a good guy, and he is, even though he has this damage in his past, he is the first one to protect his family, to protect people that he cares about, protect people who need to be protected. And I love that about him, and he's just an amazing hero, and their romance is so, so good. And I love the way that Roan is able to get over his past and become happy with Aspen and her daughter, and it's so good. It's so good. 10 out of 10 recommend. The next one that I had to include a Laura Pavlov. You guys know how obsessed I am with the Cottonwood Cove series, and I decided to go with Lincoln from On the Shore. I had to go with Lincoln because in this book, Lincoln knows what he wants. So in this book, Lincoln is a football player, and he is a very, very popular, famous, very good football player. And the heroine, whose name is Brinkley, she is a reporter, and she ended up getting fired when Lincoln complained about her following him around. And she goes back to Cottonwood Cove, where she's from, to try and regroup, find a new job. And Lincoln, in his off season, when he's just trying to decide where he's gonna play next season, his manager, agent, offers him his house in Cottonwood Cove. And so he goes there and he sees Brinkley, and he's like, "Are you following me? What in the hell?" And Brinkley can't stand him because he got her fired. And she's like, "I fucking live here. This is where I'm from." And he finds out that he got her fired. He didn't mean to get her fired. He just didn't want her to follow him around anymore. And so he feels bad that he got her fired. And so he offers her the exclusive of where he's gonna play next season. And so she ends up having to force proximity, spend a lot of time with him. And when they fall for each other, Lincoln is so sure, and I love that. He is so sure. She's like, "I don't know where I'm gonna be. I'm looking for a job." When she gets job offers, she's like, "It could be anywhere." And he's like, "I don't care. We will make it work. We are together, and we're not breaking up. I don't care if we have to fly every other day to see each other. I don't care if I have to change where I'm gonna play next season in order to be with you. this is endgame, I belong with you. And I love that. He's so sure of their relationship. And when Brinkley is struggling, he is there to be her supporter and to always be her #1 fan. And I think that's so cool and so sweet of him, and it just made me fall for him so much more. And I love him. I love him. Big fan. Okay, we're down to the last one, and that one, to nobody's surprise, I'm sure, is Theo Silva from Reckless. This was one of my top favorite books of last year. I love Theo so much, and this one is really amazing because I see it a lot of myself in Winter, and so it's really sweet to see the way that Theo loves her and falls for her. And he is her #1 supporter, and I feel like that is a theme in a lot of these books. He is always going to be her supporting person. He's always going to be the one that is in her corner, that is going to look after her and just like lift her up when she's struggling. And Theo does that to the max. And this book is another cowboy romance, and it's actually a surprise pregnancy romance. So Theo is a bull rider and Winter is a doctor, and they have a one-night stand one night, and she gets pregnant, and when she tries to contact him to tell him that she's pregnant, there's a miscommunication type of issue and he doesn't get the message. And so when he comes back to town a year later, I think, he finds out he has a daughter, and he goes 100% all in for his daughter and for Winter. And it's so good. It's so good. And like I said, Theo is her #1 supporter, and Winter is a little prickly to a lot of people. She is not people's biggest fan. She rubs people the wrong way for sure. And so when they talk shit about her, Theo is like, do not talk about her that way. She's amazing. You are wrong. Like, whatever you're talking about, it's wrong because she's amazing. And he just comes to her defense, and I love that. I love that so much, and I love the way he just goes 100% all in on this family that he has now, and it's so good. So good. Theo is so swoon-worthy. He's to die for, and so are all of the heroes that I talked about, and I love them so much. There's a reason why I'm still single, why I have such high expectations. It's because men like this are so much better than anyone that I could ever find on a shitty dating app. So that's gonna be it for my list. Please let me know how you feel about some of the heroes that I talked about, or who your #1 favorite book boyfriend is that you would want to be your Valentine. But that's going to be it for this video. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stick around, see more content from me. Leave me the pink heart with the like stars around it emoji in the comments, and I hope that you had the absolute best Valentine's Day. So have the absolute best day. Bye.